Are you looking to discover how professionals submit winning government contract bids without feeling overwhelmed? In case you didn't know, the word overwhelmed is the most used word in the government contracting space when discussing the procurement process. But are you curious about how small businesses today are bidding on government contracts without feeling overwhelmed, without putting the amount of work that many people expect to be put in, but they get even more results? Then this is the video you need to be watching. If you are looking to bid on federal contracts, you have an account with sam.gov that is abandoned, and you are looking to restart that account without feeling overwhelmed, then this is the video that you need to be watching. But before we go into that, guys, I have to take a moment to celebrate our community members who have been using artificial intelligence tools to actually win contracts. So we must take some time to acknowledge Kingsley. Kingsley spent only 45 minutes on the entire process of writing his proposal, reviewing with the subcontractor, and submitting. And within that 45 minutes, he was able to win this contract. The profit was great. And then we also have Rashad, who won a six-figure contract. Guys, this one is really cool. Six-figure contract over 5 years, $16,000 per year profit, and using ChatGPT to write the proposals that were submitted to win this contract. And then, of course, Zinni, who has been in the game for about 3 months and won her first contract 3 months into starting with the AI GovCon. So, guys, speed matters. Speed in your business matters. You need speed. But the major question then becomes, how do you inject speed into your government procurement process? And why should you even do this in the first place? Now, you might be asking yourself, this might be a question that's on your mind daily. How does Carlos submit 5 to 8 proposals per week without feeling overwhelmed? Listen, I talk to this man often, but hardly do I hear him say, man, that proposal was so hard to write. I need to take a 2 week vacation. It has never happened before. So you might be asking, how does Carlos submit 5 to 8 proposals per week without feeling overwhelmed? Well, if you want to be able to learn how to use artificial intelligence tools in government contracting, then I recommend you join the AI GovCon Corp. We have a free group. Join it now that it's still free. The link is going to be in the description of this video. Here are 3 realities, okay, that small businesses or small business owners will face. If you plan on bidding on government contracts, you're going to face these realities. The first one is searching for the right contract on sam.gov. The sam.gov interface is not perfect. Yes, I believe that the US government have the ability to pay the best developers to make the user interface more user friendly. Yes, I believe that if they put the effort in, you could have a better filtration system where if you put waste management into the filter, you only see waste management contracts. But that's not what we have. What we have is a website that is a little bit clunky but does the job. You have to then figure out a way. Then the second problem is government solicitations are challenging to decode and communicate. The third one is that writing proposals can be intimidating. So searching for the right contract can be challenging on sam.gov. Like I was saying, the interface is better than most, but comes with its own hiccups. It comes with its own issues. It's now going to be your responsibility to figure out a strategy that's going to help you in your search. But let me just clear the air on this strategy because I don't want to make it seem like there's this secret way to search on sam.gov. A huge part of it is really just sitting down, looking at the contracts one by one under certain NAICS codes or keywords, and just doing the labor of looking at the contracts, breaking them down, and reading it. I don't want to make it sound like there's this secret method to find these hidden contracts. It doesn't exist. But you need to have a framework where you're either searching by NAICS codes or you're searching by keywords and you're keeping track of the keywords that you're currently searching with. These are just a few of the methods, but also government solicitations are challenging to decode and communicate. It's not a walk in the park kind of read. It's not a novella that's going to get you hyped up. When you're reading a government contract that's 60 pages, is full of compliance language, is full of legal jargon, is full of references and citations. So in order for you to really understand these government solicitations, you need to find a way, a method. Writing proposals can be intimidating. Look, you might have the perfect sub, you might have the resources in your company to fulfill the contract, but can you communicate your capability clearly, strongly to the contracting officer on the other side? Both the time investment and the mental bandwidth to do this consistently over a period of time is something that you need to think about while going into government contracting. But what can you do about these problems? I've spent some time talking about problems. What can you do about these problems? Well, you can use AI tools, okay? In this video, I'm going to show you the AI tools that I recommend for government contracting, and I will also show you how to use some of them. Okay, one of the tools that I recommend is Claude AI. Claude AI has a way of breaking down government solicitations into very simple language, very concise. Claude AI is one of the AI tools that I recommend you use in your government procurement process. But then Perplexity AI also exists. Perplexity AI can be used to create lists of subcontractors that you can begin to call, that you can begin to email to get the quote for the contract that you are currently pursuing. Perplexity AI is one of the AI tools that you need to begin to understand how to use. And then ChatGPT, the king of them all, the heavyweight champion. ChatGPT is going to help you to write proposals that win contracts. By the way, ChatGPT can do all the other things that I talked about prior, and Claude AI can write proposals as well. But having a mix of these tools gives you the sharpest edge. So, guys, knowing about the tool is not enough. Let me repeat myself. Knowing about the tool is not enough. So, what do you want to do? Well, you need a system, you need a process that is repeatable and easy to execute. A system, a process that is repeatable and easy to execute using these AI tools. But, guys, let me show you how it's done. All right, welcome to the other side. What we have in front of us today is electrical cabling replacement. So just right off the bat, this is SAM.gov. It's a contract opportunity. What are you looking at? Notice IDs. We're looking at the department. This is for veteran affairs, sub tier veteran affairs. Cool. Let's see. This is a combined synopsis slash solicitation. If you're wondering what all these terms mean, I have a video where I talk about notice types. You can go search that up. But this is a combined synopsis slash solicitation, which tells me that the government uh, has money behind this. So they are accepting quotes from vendors. Okay, so this is due on the 31st of October. By my time is the 28th of October. So uh, if you're quick enough, you can get something done here. But the original set aside is service disabled veteran owned small business. And then the updated set aside is now a total small business set aside. So if you're a small business, you can now bid on this. But the original set aside was the SDVOSB. All right. So the next code is electrical contractors and other wiring installation contracts. Great. So what we have in front of us is, wow, that's a fairly long description. Uh, However, we're not intimidated because we have tools. I'm going to open on the other side ChatGPT, And I'm going to copy this entire description from top to bottom, like so. Control C, and I'm just going to ask ChatGPT to break this down into simple language. For example, okay, so ChatGPT says that this document is a public announcement for buying electrical products and services to fix issues at a VA medical center in West Haven, Connecticut. Okay, so it follows the Federal Acquisition Regulation guidelines, and it is the only document companies need to provide their price quote, and it is the only document companies need to provide their price quote. Okay. The specific job is to replace high voltage electric cables that are causing power outages, affecting patient care areas. Companies interested need to show they can do this work by providing quotes for the service and materials required. They need to have representatives within 200 miles of the medical center and show they have the right training and certification. The work must be done outside normal business hours and include specific tasks like replacing electrical cables and ensuring everything works properly afterwards. Companies need to provide past performance references and demonstrate they are capable of completing the job efficiently. The VA will choose a company based on the best price, ability to do the work, and past performance. The project has specific rules about how and where to work, safety requirements, and how the company should handle waste. Companies have to submit their proposal by a certain deadline via email, and no hand delivery proposal will be accepted. Guys, you see how simple ChatGPT was able to break this down, and we have a high level idea of what this contract is about. This is just the beginning. We haven't even started with the attachments. This was the description. And now you have a high level idea. One of the reasons why you do this is because you want to be able to make a decision very quickly on whether you're going to pursue this contract or not. Now, what we can see in front of us here is that there are three attachments. So I'm going to download all three attachments. I'm going to download all three attachments. And the beauty of ChatGPT here is that we can throw all three attachments into the chat. Now, if you remember from the other part of the video, you need a system, you need a process that is, number one, repeatable. Why do you need something that's repeatable? Well, one, it allows you to have a plan on a daily basis that is not random. Two, you're able to train someone else on the process, which is really important. Then, why does it need to be easy to execute? Same thing. So it can be sustainable for you and for whoever you train on the process. So let's go into this tool over here. This is called the beginner friendly 5-step solicitation breakdown guide. This is available in our school community. With this, you'll be able to break down any solicitation and understand it properly. Now, look at what we have here. We have three documents attached from this contract here. And now we want to understand it from a high level perspective to a more specific, detailed perspective. So let's start from 30,000 feet high. This is the prompt, and this is the purpose of the prompt. The purpose of this prompt is to capture the basic details and overarching goals of the solicitation. Basic, high level view, 30,000 feet in the air. Let's start with this. It's a very simple prompt. It says provide the title, the agency, and summary of the solicitation. So at this point, you want to grab the basic information. So the title of the solicitation is Electric Cabling Replacement under solicitation number, and it gives us the solicitation number. The agency responsible is the Department of Defense of Veteran Affairs, specifically the VA Medical Center located in West Haven, Connecticut. Okay, so Summary of the solicitation is this: the solicitation is a request for quotes. It's an RFQ for commercial products and services to address electrical disruptions at the West Haven VA Medical Center. The request follows the federal acquisition regulations, streamlining procedures for the acquisition of commercial items. The work involves replacing high voltage electrical cables that have been causing power outages affecting patient care areas. So we already got that information. This is 30,000 feet high. Let's descend a little bit to get more details. The purpose of this prompt is to outline both the qualifications required to bid and the expected outcomes or deliverables of the project. So that's the purpose of this prompt. Let's grab the prompt, copy, and paste. So this is the time where if you realize, man, copying and pasting is really too hard for me. Copying, pasting, and reading is really challenging for me. I can't do this. This is the best time to click off the video. But guys, eligibility requirements. Number one, proximity requirements. Guys, we've broken down a lot of contracts on this channel. But this is the first time that I'm breaking down a contract on the channel that has a proximity requirement. I've had many people say, wait, if the contract is in a different state, can I get a company that has the ability to service in that state? The answer is typically yes. But if you have a proximity requirement, the answer becomes no. So potential bidders must have a field service rep located within 200 miles of the West Haven campus of the VA Connecticut healthcare system. So you'd want to adhere to this requirement. Certifications and training. Bidders must provide documentations of certification and training related to the specific equipment and services outlined in the contract upon request. I'm going to ask a question and say, where or what are the mentioned certificates? And if there are none, ChatGPT is also going to tell us, but I'm interested to know what are the mentioned certificates. So the specific details regarding the required certification and training for bidders are not fully listed in the documents provided. However, it mentions that bidders should provide documentation upon request that certifies their training and expertise related to specific equipment and services outlined in the contract. Okay, so this likely refers to qualification that demonstrate the bidder's ability to handle high voltage electrical installation. And you see, it gives you some recommendations, but the important thing to know here is that, okay, they didn't give anything specific, so it's going to be upon request. So you're not going to start asking, hey, can we know the certification that you want? You're going to put together your proposal, and upon request, you're going to have that certification submitted. But I bet you this, any subcontractor you're calling that has been dealing with high voltage electrical cables, electrical work for any period of time will have certifications. So do not worry too much about that. Okay, let's see what else we were looking at here. So replacement, certifications and training, compliance with VA security measures. So bidders must comply with the VA security management program, which includes obtaining permission from VA police and following restricted access protocols. Okay, so key deliverables. I'm just going to go over the bullet points here. Replacement of electrical cabling, testing and inspection, waste management. So I remember seeing something here. It says the service provider is responsible for the proper disposal of all waste generated during the project, including providing a waste manifest document to the VA contracting officer, VACOR. So these are the people that they would like to see that document of waste manifest. Okay, so submission of reports. So the service provider must submit hard copies and electrical copies of all inspections and testing data reports of the VA to the VACOR. Okay, and then what are the objectives of the contract? So guys, as you can see, with just two prompts, we have so much detail about what this is about. But I can't stop until I show you what the third prompt does. The purpose of this prompt is to ensure that the proposal is formatted correctly, submitted on time, and meets all specific guidelines. And the prompt says, what is the deadline of submission and how should the proposal be formatted and delivered? This is an important question that you would want the answer to. So I'm going to throw this in here, and you can see this is the process you're going to follow every time. It's easy to execute and it's certainly repeatable. The formatting and delivery, it says email submission. The proposal should be submitted to this guy's email. Nathan. Okay, cool. Content requirement. The proposal should include a completed copy of the provisions and it gives us offer and representation certs. Documentation. Include all applicable labor rates and detailed quotation for the scheduled service, as well as any required certifications, licenses, past performance, and you have to be a veteran owned business. Cool. Guys, just wanted to be very quick there. I wanted to show you that you could use ChatGPT now to kind of break down the solicitation to find more information. But what if you wanted to perhaps find some companies that could possibly do the work with Perplexity AI? That's going to be a little bit of a bonus for everybody who stayed to the video to this part. I'm going to show you how you can do that really quickly. The first thing you're going to want to do is go to ChatGPT here and say, what kind of companies can fulfill the work? What kind of companies can fulfill the work? What ChatGPT is going to do here is electrical contractors, commercial electricians, specialized high voltage service providers. So I'm going to tell ChatGPT to do this now. Create or turn these companies into Boolean strings, or rather into search terms, search terms with the location of the site. So for all those people, I know a couple of people watch this and follow along. This is a good one. Turn these companies into search terms with the location of the site. Now we're going to open Perplexity AI here. And with Perplexity AI, we can always Control C, Control V. Let me get my face. Electrical contractors in West Haven City, Connecticut. So it gives you their rating, their address, their phone number, their website. So I'll recommend you go to the website to confirm those personal information, not personal information, but contact information like the phone numbers or emails. You want to go onto the website and confirm that. But as you can see, now we have a list of possible contractors in the area that we can begin to reach out to. Guys, look, if you're looking for a community of people who are like-minded in terms of business, government contracting to be specific, federal contracts, and of course, using artificial intelligence tools to aid the process and get further along in the game, then you need to join the AI GovCon Corp, our community, with the link in the description. And if you want to take it a step further and you want to start bidding on contracts, then you need to join our inner circle. But in the meantime, guys, happy bidding.